Hi everybody, this is Tara from Handmade with Tara, and I am going to do another card tutorial for you. I had sold this card that I'm going to make tonight on my Etsy shop, Handmade with Tara, and I think it's like the #1 selling card out of all of my shop. So I'm going to go ahead and do a tutorial for it so I can show you how to do it, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to offer this card, just because it is like a more summery springtime card and we're moving to fall and winter. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and we'll go from there. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and get a piece of the Daffodil Delight paper and a piece of white cardstock as well. So that is, actually I'm lying. Oh, don't get Daffodil Delight, get Bumblebee. I have Bumblebee. Alright, so Bumblebee looks like this. Sorry, there's like a little shadow. I don't know how to get rid of that shadow. I keep trying to move my lighting and it's just not working. So, and then a piece of white cardstock as well that you're going to need for this card. And then you're going to need, so here we go. Then you're also going to need the Honeybee Home stamp set. So out of the stamp set, I use this Bumblebee, I use this Bumblebee, and I use this one right here. So I go ahead and get those out, put them on blocks, make it easy for yourself. And then I also need my Heart and Home Designer Series paper. So that's this Designer Series paper. You can see a couple of the different ones here. And on the back it says the different colors that coordinate. So basic gray, cinnamon cider, fresh freesia, garden green, misty moonlight, pale papaya, and white. So all of those will go with this, and we're actually going to use the Bumblebee paper right there. So just to give you an idea. And then you're also going to need a couple of dies. So obviously the Honeybee Home Honeybee Blooms dies. So Honeybee Blooms dies are these, and you can see them a little bit better here. Mine aren't like as organized as this like. And then I also need the basic borders dies. So, and I use the zigzag die right here. Okay? And then you're also going to need a couple of blends. So I have pale papaya, fresh freesia, daffodil delight, and garden green, because they all will coordinate with this suite. Even though I'm using Bumblebee because I want the back a little bit darker, I do use the Daffodil Delight too. Alright, and then I also do the Daffodil Delight ribbon. So this is, I think that, I'm not sure you can get this one anymore, but they probably have something similar that you can find. But this one I used for this card. It's like the, hold on, let me see what it says. Ruched ribbon? Ruched? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but alright, so I use that ribbon. And okay, so the first thing that you want to do is take this 8.5 by 11.5 cardstock, and you want to cut it in at 4.25 by 5.5. Alright, so that's going to be this way, 4.25 by 5.5. Okay, and then this one, we're going to go ahead and cut the white. We're going to do one piece for the inside of the card at 4 inches by 5.25. Alright, and then we're going to also do a piece for the front of the card, and that's going to be cut at 4 by 2 5/8 inches. Okay, so I need one that's cut 4 by 5.25, and the other cut 4 by 2 5/8 inches. So that's the white. And then back to this one. So after you cut it in half, we're going to do the zigzag die. And the zigzag die, we're going to cut like this. So I don't know if you can see that. So, and that's about an inch in. So I guesstimated, and I did about an inch in, and I attached that inside piece so you could see. So it's about that much. And then I used that die and I went ahead and cut right across. Alright, with the zigzag die. Alright, so, and that's in the basic borders dies. I used the zigzag die. Okay? And then the next step that you're gonna do is you're gonna cut some of the, alright, so this is the white piece that you cut. Oops. So this is the white piece that you cut. So that's gonna go there. And then I also cut some designer series paper. And this designer series paper I cut 4 1/8 by 1 3/4. 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so 4 1/8 by 1 3/4 inches. Alright, so in the way that I'm gonna layer it is I'm gonna layer it like that underneath the card. Okay, just like that. Alright, then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp the front. So I went ahead and stamped it, and I used my Memento black ink to stamp this. And the next thing that you want to do is you want to color that in. So the next thing I did was I colored it in, and it looks like this. So I did a garden green here, and then I used the Daffodil Delight right in the middle of the flower, on all of the flowers, and then I used a fresh freesia on the petals of the flowers, and then on the middle between the Daffodil Delight and the fresh freesia, I did a little pale papaya, and then I used Bumblebee because this paper is Bumblebee. I went ahead and used the Bumblebee with a sponge dauber, so that's this one. Alright, so I used Bumblebee on the sponge dauber, and I just go right around the edges like this, and then I went like this on the top all the way around to give it that look. Alright, so that's ready to go, that's ready to go. We got our designer series paper, that's going to go on the bottom. And it's going to layer just like that. So I kind of made this so that you could see as much of the designer paper as possible. So I move it all the way over almost to the zigzags, almost like right by the zigzags. And then I layered this one on top. And then I just create a little border all the way around of the Bumblebee paper. So it's going to be like that. But before you attach anything, you want to cut some ribbon. So the ribbon this is 20 inches. And what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to wrap it around this one and then tie it in a bow. And then after I've done that, I'm going to start attaching everything to the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this one down. All right. Try not to push too hard. My glue is like very finicky. Like, and maybe it's just me because I'm impatient, but I have like squeezed lots of glue out. And I waste a lot of glue around here. And I wish that I didn't, but it is what it is. So, and then I'm just gonna put that again right up to those zigzags, almost on the zigzags, but not quite on the zigzags. And I'm gonna leave a little border at the top and the bottom. Little tiny border at the top and the bottom, push that down. Alright, so now I'm going to tie my ribbon around this. So this is tricky for me. I'm sure it's tricky for everybody. I don't like tying bows, but it does elevate a card and take it to the next level. So we're going to go ahead and tie it around, and I kind of tie it tighter than I need, and then I can adjust it. So push that down, pull it around, get this on here. Hopefully this will work. So there's my bow. See, and this is why I tie it tighter than I need, because if I don't, then I have all this extra space. Can you see that? So I need to tie it again. So they have these reverse tweezers, but they're part of a bundle that I don't need. I had already got some of the bundle, but not all of the bundle. And now I really wish I would have just got the whole bundle with the reverse tweezers, because it helps hold those knots. So you kind of have to do it tighter than you need, almost to where it's like bowing. The paper is bowing up. And then I'm going to stick this through here and hope that it's a little tighter than it was last time. Nope, I'm terrible at this. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. I'm maybe just too far away from my face. And let me see if I can get it while I just need it closer to my face here. Still having a hard time. Sorry. Bear with me a second. I'm trying to be all fancy and I just need to just do it like I usually do it, so that I can show you. Tying a bows are hard. You don't honestly, I like the way that it makes this card look, but you don't need to do this part if it's a pain for you. And you're like, this is such a cute card, but I'm not tying that bow. Alright, so I sort of got it right there. Again, it's just too loose. Okay. I might be doing it the other way. Okay, I'm going to show you the other way. Hold on, I already cut a piece. So this is a 6.5 inches piece that, watch this. Okay, this is like the fake out way. Alright, so you put it like that, and I kind of put it over to the side, almost all the way over to the side. And then I'm going to tape this down on the back. Obviously you don't want to be able to see the tape from the front. Alright, so that's one. And then I'm going to do this side like so. Like that. So then when you turn it over, it's going to look like that. And then you can just tie a little piece of ribbon around there and tie it in a bow. So it'll just be a little bit easier. And let me show you. Alright, so with this, and then you can tie it like a regular bow, but I already have the round part. So that's the fake way to do it. And then I just kind of adjust the bow where you want it on the ribbon, and I kind of like it. I think I have the other one in the middle, so I can attach my beads at the end. Okay, so in the middle there, and then I'm going to wrap this around and make a tiny little bow. Tiny little bow. Yeesh. Alright, look at that. Tiny little bow. Tiny little bow. Trying to make it tight. Again, hard to do. There we go. That's a lot better. And super cute. It's a tiny little bow. Oh, look how sweet. Alright, so that's kind of a pain, but that is the fake out way. So that way it looks like I did the bow around the whole thing, but it's actually just a fake out. Like that. So now I can attach it to the card. So I'm going to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the card. And like so. And I'm going to try not to get glue all over my fingers. I'm going to attach it. Like I said, like there's a little border around the edge, kind of centered on this piece, because this piece is a little bit bigger. Push that down. That is the idea. Okay, I think that looks very nice. Alright, Perfect. See how this is kind of like popping up like this? I'm going to use my bone folder and just kind of like push that down a little bit. Hopefully it won't do that as much. I'll start from this side. Don't want to mess up that bow. It took me forever to do. Sorry about that. There we go. There, now it's laying flat. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to grab some designer series of paper, the same paper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the bees, so these two bees, with the Versamark. And then I'm going to use the gold embossing powder. Okay, so I'm going to use the gold embossing folder, the Versamark, and then these two, so this one, I don't know if you can see that, and this one. Go. Oh. Getting it clear. There we go. Okay, so I already went ahead and made one, so I stamped it right over top. So these bees line up perfectly, okay, with these stamps. So I just used my Versamark, inked it up, stamped on this page here. Then I use my heat gun. I go over I put the embossing powder first and then get off the excess, and then I use my heat tool to make it look nice and shiny. See that? And then I use my die cuts and I cut these out. So, and then it looks like this. Okay? Once it looks like this, alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do one more with my embossing machine. I'm going to go ahead and get one more bumblebee here. And I use my embossing machine off the camera because it's just too clunky to put down underneath my camera. But, alright, so now I just cut up some more bumblebees on this designer series paper. And there we go. That's what it looks like. You can see that. Alright, so now I have 3 lovely little bees to assemble to the card. So I'm going to go ahead and get some, so I don't need this anymore, I already did this, so now I'm going to attach these. So in the way that I do that is with dimensionals. So because they're tiny, I'm going to use the mini dimensionals, and then I just kind of put them around the flowers here. So I'm just going to grab a couple of dimensionals, put them on the back here. Of my bees to give them some dimension here. Just like that. I think one's probably good. I mean, it's a small piece of paper. So, and then I just kind of like put them on the flowers. So I put the big one down here, so I think I put this one up here. Like that. And I put the big one down here. It's kind of, do you want them facing this way? You can put them whichever way you want. And then I put this other one up here. Like that. So beautiful card, a little bit of dimension, blank, no sentiment, so you can add your own sentiment. And then if you want to, oh, I'll show you another thing. So you can use the, here, which ink do I have over here? I have my bumblebee. Okay, so I'm going to use my bumblebee pad, and then what I'm going to do is not get ink everywhere, because that would be a terrible mistake. Okay, and I'm just gonna ink up one of these bees, and I'm gonna put it on the inside. So ink, ink, ink. And then you can stamp off if you want to, but I don't think you need to. So I'm just gonna put him over here. He's looking for the flowers, right? So just really simple. You can do more than one if you want to. I'm just gonna do the one. So it's kind of fun because like you open it, not only is it like three-dimensional here, but then you open it and you have one more bee here, and you can even stamp the envelope with the bee too. So I might do that too. See, because that bee is super cute. So I might go a bee up here and maybe a bee on the front too. Bee on the front. Super cute. That way they coordinate and it makes it just a little bit more special that way. And then you're done. So you have your envelope and you have your beautiful bumblebee card. That's what I called it. So the bumblebee card, and this is using the Honeybee Home dies, or Honeybee Home cling stamp set. So, okay, great. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos from me. And make sure to visit my Etsy shop. You can actually do it. I have the site through Pattern, so it has all my Etsy shop on my website. So my website is www.handmadewithtara.com. Okay, thank you so much.